Nina and Pinta. Nina was built over the course of 3 years, hand-built, exactly as the originals have been built. 88 through 91, we have been sailing since 92. We were built expressly to celebrate and commemorate the 500th anniversary of Columbus's first voyage. So you come down to see the ship and you're walking onto living history. We are museum ships. We have various displays. We give tours to talk about the sailors' experience during Columbus's 4 explorations, the caravel, the type of ship that we are, and the whole age of exploration for that matter. Pinta, on the other hand, is a more modern ship, still built as a caravel, but built to modern standards. She's quite a bit larger than the original Pinta. She is built larger to accommodate passengers, which she carried around the Cayman Islands for a few years before joining us. We now tour together all around the eastern United States, about 10.5 months of the year, making 30 to 35 stops around the course of the year, primarily giving tours to school groups, be they homeschoolers or public schools or what have you, community organizations, and the general public.
Or how important do you think this kind of experience is for them?
Well, as a former social studies teacher, you know, what they get here is a hands-on and first-person experience, essentially, rather than simply reading out of a textbook or using their imagination in a fairly sterile classroom. This ship is built as an exact replica, so they're here on the deck of the ship that that Columbus used on 3 of his 4 voyages. They're able to experience the textures of all the materials used, all wood and the lines that go into. We have 3.5 miles of line in our rigging, but they're out on the deck experiencing the same thing the crews did, insofar as we had 24 crew on this ship. They lived on the deck 24 hours a day, regardless of the elements and regardless of the duration of their voyage. And they were young men. 14 to 19 years old was their average age. So a school kid will come down and be able to experience all that. They'll feel the wind, they'll feel, you know, the temperatures, as it were. They'll hear the wind in our flags and sails and occasionally lapping against the hull. Not that it's necessarily a highlight, they'll even be able to smell some of the same things that the crews did. The ships were all covered with pine tar, and we have a sample of it that they get to smell. But they get to understand a little bit better, you know, what the hardships people went through in the 15th century in their age of exploration and what it took to open up the world to exploration.
So the Gulf Coast portion starts over here in Mobile?
Right.
And then it goes all the way down. And then are you going around the tip of Florida?
We're not sure which one of these routes we'll take. There's a lot of problem with the canals here, and so a lot of times we'll go around if the canal is not good. But if the canal is good to travel through, then we'll just zip across. It'll be quicker. Sometimes we'll go up the East Coast from there. This year, we're just biding our time until the rivers stop flooding, and then we're going to head up the, we're going to double back, we're going to head up the Tombigbee and Tennessee River, and then up the Mississippi River all the way to Minneapolis, St. Paul area, and then all the way back down to Mississippi out at New Orleans and back to Mobile.
Pretty big circle there, isn't it?